When installing a hot tub in a residential setting, the proper grounding of the electrical system is critical for safety. The question of whether the grounding wire should return to the main disconnect or the subpanel is important to address. According to electrical codes and best practices, the grounding wire for a hot tub should return to the main disconnect. This approach ensures a direct and low impedance path back to the source, which is essential for the effective operation of overcurrent protection devices like circuit breakers or fuses. When a fault occurs, such as a short circuit, a large amount of current flows through the grounding path back to the source. This high current is designed to trip the circuit breaker quickly, cutting off the power and preventing electrical shock or fire hazards. If the grounding wire were to connect to the subpanel first, the fault current would have to travel through the subpanel's grounding system before reaching the main disconnect. This indirect path may introduce additional impedance, which can impede the flow of fault current. The higher impedance could delay the tripping of the circuit breaker, increasing the risk of electrical shock or fire. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides specific guidelines for grounding and bonding electrical systems to ensure safety. While the exact requirements may vary depending on the specific edition of the NEC and local amendments, the general principle is to establish a reliable, low-impedance ground fault current path. Grounding electrodes, such as ground rods or ground plates, are used to connect the electrical system to the earth. These electrodes provide a path for fault current to flow into the ground, which can help to stabilize the voltage and reduce the risk of electrical shock. However, grounding electrodes are not intended to be the primary path for fault current. The primary path should always be the grounding conductor that runs back to the main disconnect. This grounding conductor is typically a copper wire or busbar that is sized according to the electrical code. It is important to ensure that the grounding conductor is properly connected to all metal parts of the electrical system, including the hot tub's metal frame, the subpanel enclosure, and any metal conduits or enclosures. These connections are made using bonding jumpers, which are short lengths of wire that are used to connect metal parts together. Bonding jumpers help to ensure that all metal parts are at the same electrical potential, which reduces the risk of electrical shock. In addition to grounding, bonding is also important for preventing corrosion. When dissimilar metals are in contact with each other in the presence of moisture, a galvanic reaction can occur. This reaction can cause one of the metals to corrode, which can weaken the electrical connection. Bonding jumpers can help to prevent galvanic corrosion by providing a common electrical potential for all metal parts. When installing a hot tub, it is important to follow all applicable electrical codes and regulations. This includes obtaining the necessary permits and inspections. A qualified electrician should be hired to perform the electrical work. The electrician will be familiar with the local codes and regulations and will be able to ensure that the hot tub is properly grounded and bonded. The electrician will also be able to perform a load calculation to ensure that the electrical system is adequate to handle the additional load of the hot tub. The load calculation will take into account the hot tub's voltage, amperage, and wattage, as well as the existing loads on the electrical system. If the electrical system is not adequate, the electrician may need to upgrade the service panel or install a new circuit. When selecting a location for the hot tub, it is important to consider the proximity to electrical sources. The hot tub should not be located under overhead power lines or near any other electrical equipment. The hot tub should also be located on a level surface that is free of debris. The surface should be able to support the weight of the hot tub when it is filled with water. The hot tub should be installed according to the manufacturer's instructions. This includes properly connecting the plumbing and electrical systems. The hot tub should be filled with water and tested to ensure that it is functioning properly. When using the hot tub, it is important to follow all safety precautions. This includes never using electrical appliances near the hot tub and never entering the hot tub during a thunderstorm. The hot tub should be regularly inspected for any signs of damage or wear. Any necessary repairs should be made promptly. To reiterate, the grounding wire should run back to the main disconnect for optimal safety and code compliance. This minimizes impedance in the fault current path and ensures that overcurrent protection devices operate quickly. Always consult local electrical codes and a qualified electrician for specific requirements and safe installation practices. Think of the grounding system as a critical safety net. Its primary function is to provide a low resistance path for fault currents to return to the source, which is the main electrical panel. This path allows the circuit breaker to trip quickly, preventing dangerous voltage from lingering on the hot tub's conductive parts, such as the metal frame or water heater components. Now, let's delve deeper into why connecting the grounding wire to the subpanel first is not the preferred method. Firstly, consider the potential for increased impedance. Impedance is the opposition to the flow of alternating current. When a fault current travels through the subpanel's grounding system before reaching the main panel, it encounters additional connections, wires, and components, all of which contribute to impedance. Higher impedance restricts the fault current, potentially delaying the circuit breaker's response. Secondly, the subpanel's grounding system might not be adequately sized to handle the full fault current from the hot tub. Subpanels are typically designed to serve specific loads, and their grounding conductors are sized accordingly. A hot tub, especially a large one with a powerful heater, can draw a significant amount of current during a fault. Relying on the subpanel's grounding system could overload it, further hindering the clearing of the fault. Thirdly, NEC section 250.24. A5 generally requires the grounded conductor, often the neutral, to be connected to the grounding electrode system at the service equipment, which is the main disconnect. This arrangement creates a single point of grounding for the entire electrical system, ensuring a consistent reference point for voltage and minimizing potential differences between conductive parts. Connecting the hot tub's grounding wire directly to the main disconnect adheres to this principle. Here's an analogy. Imagine a water drainage system. The main drain is designed to handle a large volume of water quickly. If you try to drain water through a smaller, secondary drain first, it will take longer to clear the water, and the system might even overflow. Similarly, the main disconnect's grounding system is the primary pathway for fault currents, and it's designed to handle them efficiently. Connecting the hot tub's grounding wire directly to it ensures the fastest and most reliable clearing of faults. In practical terms, how do you ensure the grounding wire returns to the main disconnect? Firstly, use a dedicated grounding conductor. This should be a copper wire of the appropriate size, as determined by the circuit's amperage and the NEC tables, such as Table 250.122. This table provides guidelines for the minimum size of grounding conductors based on the rating of the overcurrent protection device. Secondly, run the grounding conductor alongside the circuit conductors, that is the hot and neutral wires, in the same conduit or cable assembly. This minimizes impedance by ensuring that the magnetic fields created by the fault current in the hot conductor are largely cancelled out by the magnetic fields created in the grounding conductor. Thirdly, terminate the grounding conductor securely at the grounding bus bar in the main disconnect. This bus bar is connected to the grounding electrode system, which consists of ground rods, ground plates, or other grounding electrodes. Ensure that the connection is tight and corrosion resistant. A loose connection can increase impedance and compromise the grounding system's effectiveness. Now, let's consider some related concepts. Firstly, bonding is the process of connecting all metal parts of the hot tub and its surrounding equipment together to create a common electrical potential. This includes the hot tub's metal frame, the water heater components, any metal piping, and any metal accessories. Bonding helps to prevent voltage differences between these parts, which could cause electrical shock. Secondly, a ground fault circuit interrupter, or GFCI, is a safety device that detects ground faults and quickly shuts off the power. GFCIs are required for hot tub circuits and are designed to protect against electrical shock. They work by monitoring the current flowing in the hot and neutral conductors. If there is a difference of more than a few milliamps, it indicates that some current is leaking to ground, which could be due to a fault. The GFCI will trip, interrupting the circuit and preventing electrical shock. Thirdly, surge protection devices, or SPDs, are used to protect electrical equipment from voltage surges caused by lightning strikes or other events. SPD are typically installed at the main electrical panel and can help to protect the hot tub's electronic components from damage. SPD work by diverting excess voltage to ground, preventing it from reaching the protected equipment. In summary, connecting the grounding wire directly to the main disconnect is the preferred method for grounding a hot tub in a residential setting. This approach ensures a low impedance fault current path, allows for quick tripping of the circuit breaker, and complies with electrical codes. Remember to use a dedicated grounding conductor, run it alongside the circuit conductors, and terminate it securely at the grounding bus bar in the main disconnect. Also, ensure that all metal parts of the hot tub and its surrounding equipment are properly bonded and that a GFCI is installed to protect against electrical shock. By following these guidelines, you can ensure a safe and compliant hot tub installation. If the hot tub is located a significant distance from the main disconnect, consider increasing the size of the grounding conductor to compensate for the increased length. This will help to maintain a low impedance fault current path. Also, consider using a separate grounding electrode system for the hot tub, in addition to the grounding electrode system at the main disconnect. This can help to further reduce the risk of electrical shock. If you are unsure about any aspect of the hot tub installation, consult with a qualified electrician. They will be able to provide guidance and ensure that the installation is safe and compliant. Remember, electrical safety is paramount, and it's always better to err on the side of caution. Finally, let's consider some common mistakes to avoid when grounding a hot tub. Firstly, do not use the neutral conductor as the grounding conductor. The neutral conductor is designed to carry normal load current, and it is not intended to be used as a grounding path. Using the neutral conductor as the grounding conductor can create a dangerous situation, as it can cause voltage to appear on metal parts of the hot tub. Secondly, do not rely on the plumbing system for grounding. The plumbing system is not designed to be a grounding path, and it may not provide a reliable connection. Thirdly, do not use undersized grounding conductors. Undersized grounding conductors can increase impedance and compromise the grounding system's effectiveness. Fourthly, do not neglect to bond all metal parts of the hot tub and its surrounding equipment. Failure to bond these parts can create voltage differences, which could cause electrical shock. Fifthly, do not forget to install a GFCI. A GFCI is a critical safety device that can protect against electrical shock.